Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187th District Court. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Today is Monday, but let's make it a happy Monday. And we are going to, just one moment. All right, here we are. All right, this is the rules of the 187 District Court. You are in a courtroom. You may be at your home. You may be at the Bexar County Jail. You may be at your office, but you're in the 187 District Court. Whatever you couldn't do if you were physically in the 187 District Court, you can't do now. So what that means is there's to be no smoking, no laying in bed, no fixing food. To all the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back to your cell. You're also not to try to pick someone up for a date on this Zoom. If you try to pick someone up for a date on this Zoom, you will be sent back to your cell. This is not the Bachelor. This is not the Bachelorette. To all the defendants, I'm going to call your attorney's name. Your name will not be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, that is because your attorney is most likely Zooming in another courtroom. Rest assured, you will get a chance to see your attorney today. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to that room. Your attorneys will most likely go to a breakout room with the prosecutor. When your attorney wants you to come to the breakout room, your attorney will let the court know and you will be sent to a breakout room. There's just one moment, please. Could whoever has me on YouTube, if you could mute yourself, that would be greatly appreciated because I'm getting a lot of feedback. All right, this is the order in which the attorneys will appear. Attorneys, if you see that your name is low on the list, of course, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another courtroom. However, if your name is called in your another courtroom, then you will be skipped over. The other thing, defense attorneys, prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. So when you are assigned to a breakout room, please remain there. Remember, it's like a doctor's office. So what that means is when the nurse calls you back, you're not actually seeing the doctor, your weight and blood pressure is being checked. But if you leave that room, the prosecutor will see that room is empty and they will skip over you. The other thing, there is to be absolutely, positively no Zooming and driving. You can't text and drive. You can't multitask with your driving. You need to be focused on driving. If you are Zooming and driving, you will have to appear in court. And anyone who does not behave professionally on Zoom will have to appear in court. All right, the first attorney is Ray Martinez. And if all the attorneys could tell me your client's name and whether or not they're criminal trial division or family violence. Ray Martinez.
Judge, I have Manuel Leal, criminal trial division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
Patrick Valentine.
Present, Your Honor, representing Lazarus Davila, criminal trial division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
Joseph Aguilar. I'm used to seeing you as Mick, and it throws me off.
Well, I was out of county doing one, and they didn't recognize Mick. They only knew me as Joseph, so I had to change it.
All right.
I'm on the list for Cristobal Martinez, but I thought I resolved that some time ago, and he subsequently picked up an MTR. So I think Norma picked me up as the last attorney on it.
Okay, and what is the last name?
Cristobal Martinez. He's in jail on an MTR. I'm the one that got him the probation, but I thought I was done.
Well, I guess they show you as hired.
Yeah, before he got to get the supervision back in January. But if I'm on the MTR, I don't recall.
All right, I'm going to see you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Michael Goins.
I have Mary Maldonado, Your Honor. That's Criminal Trial Division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bill Davidson.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Roland Diaz. It's the Criminal Trial Division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
Brian Kimbrough.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Shelley Byers. That's a criminal trial, but I'd been speaking to Alexandra if she's available. Ms. Byers is on. I see she's on.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you.
Eduardo Jimenez.
Yes, Your Honor. It's Damian Valdez. We have a PSI this morning, Your Honor.
And Rebecca, can you make sure I have the PSI on Mr. Damian Valdez?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I didn't realize it was the PSI on him.
No problem.
But I'll send that right now.
All right, Eduardo Jimenez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7 with your client.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Valdez, if you'll go to 7, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Eduardo Jimenez. Oh, I'm sorry, Eduardo, go to number 7, please. Wait a minute. Sorry, that's number 8. Shannon Locke. Shannon Locke. Shannon Locke going once. Shannon Locke going twice. Shannon Locke going 3 times. All right, the next person up is Todd Coronado.
Your Honor, I have Jacob Borrego. He's on Zoom right now. It's Criminal Trial Division. We are set for plea.
Brian, you can go back to that breakout room. The other people have been removed.
Okay, thank you.
Judge,
Yes.
may I have a word, please? Breakout 7 with another.
No, I moved you to number 8.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
Sure. And I'm sorry, you said Jacob Borrego?
Yes, he's on, and we're set for ready for a plea today.
Judge,
All
I'm
right.
working on the paperwork.
All right, who's doing the paperwork?
Hunter is, Judge.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room number 9 with your client. Mr. Borrego, if you'll go to number 9, your attorney will meet you there to go over paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Dirk Ashbaugh.
Good morning, Judge. How are you doing? I have Arthur Burnell. I believe he's in custody. These are night mag cases, so I wasn't sure why I'm here today, but
Your client, someone at the jail requested a PR bond.
okay. Is he here?
Yes, it should be on the screen in custody. They're bringing him down shortly.
Okay.
Your client is charged with a burglary of a building case.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10,
Okay.
and a prosecutor will confer with you.
Thanks, Judge.
Sure. All right, is there any defense attorney that I've missed?
Kelly Piddle, Judge.
Yes.
I have Michael Martinez. It's a CTD, MTR.
Okay.
Judge, I'm here also. Charles Spunk. I have Jacqueline Jones. She's CTD.
All right. Kelly Piddle, I will put you in breakout room number 11.
Thank you.
Charles Spunk, who do you have?
Jacqueline Jones. She's a CTD case. She's present on the Zoom as well. I'll send you to breakout room number 12. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Attorney Lesniak. Melissa Lesniak.
Yes,
Who do you have?
it's Raymond Gutierrez. But I do have a attorney unavailability notice in for today. So I'm not in any position to turn on my video.
Okay. All right, just give me a moment. What is your client's last name?
Gutierrez. I can give you a case number if that would be help.
Yes, because I don't see him on the docket.
2017 CR 7713W. I didn't think he was set for today either. The only reason I respond is because I received the Zoom link invitation a few moments ago.
Norma, can you check on that, please?
Who did you receive the Zoom link from? Me?
Just a moment.
I'll send you all to a breakout room.
Yes, I received it from Norma.
Okay.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1 with the court coordinator.
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room?
Yes. I'll see you in breakout room number 13.
Okay, you need to assign me.
Everyone, just give me a moment. All right, anyone back from the breakout rooms?
Yes, Judge Tom and Patrick Valentine back from breakout room 3.
Yes.
We are wondering, is Lazarus Davila on the Zoom?
Is there a Lazarus Davila on the Zoom screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, he is.
Can you put him in breakout room 3 with Mr. Valentine, please?
All right, Mr. Davila, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and everyone, just give me a moment, please.
Not yet. Thank you, though.
All right, Ron Ross. You're muted.
I'm here, Judge, and my client should be here, and I think we were coming back. You wanted to tell him when he's supposed to return for sentencing. You remember Friday he left too early?
Yes. What is your client's name?
David Thatcher. He should be on right now.
Yes, he should be on. Just, let me see.
He's on bond, so.
Yes. David Thatcher, could you unmute for me, please? David Thatcher.
Oh, man.
No, I mean, he was here. I did see him zoom in. Mr. Ross, if you get in touch with him, are you able to get in touch with him and let him know his court date?
Oh, yeah, I can talk to him. I've already talked to him. Yeah, sure.
All right, well, just let him know his court date is May 27th.
I think you've already warned him if he's not here, what the consequences are going to be, so he knows.
Okay.
So
all right.
I will let him know, and we'll be here.
All right, thank you. You're excused. Thank you for zooming back in.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good week.
All right, you too. Ray Martinez.
Judge, can I get a breakout room with my client so I can go over the offer?
Okay. You were in breakout room number 2. Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond, Judge. I saw him. He's got iPhone A20, I think. No, I'm sorry, Galaxy A20.
All right, I'll send him to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Yeah, you sent me with Charles Bunk, but I never went to the breakout room.
Did you not listen to my instructions this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
My instructions were that your attorney, if they want you in the breakout room, they request that you be in the breakout room. I said that they will be speaking to the prosecutors first. Mr. Coronado, you're back?
Yes, ma'am. We're conferred with my client. We're ready on a plea.
All right, has all the plea paperwork been completed?
I believe so.
All right, I'm sending you and your client to breakout room number 14. And could the clerk go to breakout room number 14 to see if the paperwork is complete?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shannon Locke. All right, Mr. Borrego, you need to go to breakout room number 14.
Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No problem. And to the clerk, go to breakout room number 14 and see if all the paperwork has been completed, please. Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Judge, we're back.
Yes.
This is dirt, asphalt. I'm not sure if there's my client. I just see him now. Can you put him in the breakout with me so I can talk to him real quick? And then I think we're ready, Judge. We have a tentative agreement, although it'll be up to you anyways, so.
All right, Mr. Bernal, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10 to speak with your attorney. And Mr. Ashbaugh, if you'll go back to number 10. Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Michael Goins needs to speak with his client. She is in custody and her name is Mary Jane Maldonado.
All right, that's breakout room number 5.
Thanks for.
And you say it's Mary Jane
Maldonado.
Maldonado?
Yes, and she's in custody, Judge.
All right, Ms. Maldonado, if you'll go to breakout room number 5, please. And Mr. Goins, if you'll go back to 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Maldonado, look at the bottom of your screen. Do you see a box that says breakout room?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, click on that. And it should be requesting you to go to breakout room number 5. Anyone else back from the breakout room? All right, everyone, let me know when you are ready.
Judge,
Yes.
this is Cortinas. I just got a text message from my lawyer. He's saying he's in trial right now.
You'll just have to remain here. Your attorney needs to contact the court.
Yeah, he just told me to tell you. Just
He needs to contact the court.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Mr. Goins, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. I was looking for Norma on the screen. My client would like to take the MTR offer made by the state.
All right, Norma Ferguson is listed as Ferguson coordinator, but she's in a breakout room right now.
That's why. I'll just wait for her, Judge.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right, is there a William Harper here? William Harper.
Judge Howard.
Yes.
I've spoken to my client thoroughly about the PSI, about what we're doing today, why we're here today, and I think he's ready to proceed when you are.
All right, you need to have your client come from the breakout room. So if you'll
Okay,
go
let me
back to
tell him
number
that.
8 and have him come to the main room.
Yes, ma'am.
Raymond Martinez.
Judge, since the last time we were set on Mr. Leal, the state filed an at-large case, a burglary of habitation as a repeater. He has not hired me on that case. Matter of fact, he just got booked on it a week or two ago. So he needs time to either decide to hire me or whether he can afford to do that. And
Mr. Leal. You need to unmute.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to recall this case. And I'm recalling this case in 2 weeks. At that time, you need to discuss with your attorney whether or not you want a jury trial or a bench trial, or you're going to accept some offer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ferguson? Just one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I need a 2-week reset on Mr. Manuel Leal.
And it's going to be for?
It's a plea deadline date.
Judge, just so you're aware, Judge, I don't have access to discovery on that new file case because I'm not his lawyer. He doesn't either. So even though he's gotten an offer, there's no way for us to evaluate it without seeing the discovery.
I understand. And is that offer encompassing the new case, or are they asking you to plea on the new
Actually,
case?
they want him to plead to the new case. That's because it's the most serious offense of all the cases he
All right,
has.
who's the prosecutor you're dealing with?
Alexandra?
Alexandra? Norma, just recall this in 2 weeks. Mr.
The 17th.
Leal,
Yes.
by May 17th, you need to decide if you're going to hire Mr. Martinez or not.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Maybe excuse your honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Norma, Mr. Goins says they have an agreement. If you can put in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Goins.
I just did, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, do I leave the chat room? Do I leave the thing?
Yes, you're excused. See you on May
Thank you.
17th.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Hey, Judge.
All right, anyone else back?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Dirk Ashball. Can you put Hunter and I in a breakout room again, just real quick, Judge, before we talk to you?
Yes.
I would be honored.
I'll send you to breakout room number 9.
Thank you, Judge.
Everyone, just one moment. All right, who's the prosecutor on Damian Valdez?
David is.
All right, if I could have the
But
court
he's not
reporter,
here.
please.
I don't know where's that.
All right, if I could have the court reporter, please.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Court is calling 2019 CR 10960, State of Texas versus Damian Miguel Valdez. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
David Martin.
for the defense?
Eduardo Jimenez.
All right, and Mr. Valdez, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
No objection, Your Honor.
Court will note for the record that the defendant entered his plea of no contest on April 1st by video. The court found there was sufficient evidence of guilt. We're here today for sentencing. Mr. Valdez, do you have any objections to the sentencing taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison, and the state is remaining silent. Defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Damian Valdez, he comes from a broken family. His parents separated at the age of 3, when he was 3 years old, that is. And since then, he's now 22. But he spent his entire childhood bouncing back from mother to father. Sometimes aunts would raise him. When he was a young teenager, he became hooked on methamphetamines. In the beginning, he thought it was very pleasurable and he liked it. But as time progressed, it started making him sick. He just could not kick the habit of methamphetamine. He worked in fast food as dishwashers and as dishwasher and as a cook. And finally, just before he was arrested, he was working as a door maker for a door construction company. So he has experienced gainful employment, but at the same time, he suffers from a very severe addiction to methamphetamine. The incident, of course, was sexual activity with a 15-year-old girl. That girl was also happened to be his stepsister. He knew it was wrong to do such a thing with his stepsister, being to his family, but he has told me, I'm sorry, Judge, it's my phone. I'm turning it off right now. Let me turn it. He has told me, in all honesty, that he did not know it was a crime. Now, I know that ignorance of the law is not a defense to committing a crime, but I've asked him over and over, and he simply does not know or didn't know about that being against the law. He knew it was against the, sort of the natural order of the family and such, but he did not know that that was a crime. Of course, now he does, quite obviously. He has had girlfriends. None of them have been minors. They've been 21, 20 this and 20 that. So he's not a sexual predator. He doesn't go around looking for underage girls. It just so happened that his yes.
I'm sorry. Continue.
It just so happened that this incident revolves around a 15-year-old girl who happens to be his stepsister. He did mention that just as things progressed, he realized that what he was doing was wrong, not so much in a legal sense, but in a moral sense. And he stopped and backed away and brought an end to that situation. We're asking the court to consider application because this is his application because this is his first felony. And I believe he has one misdemeanor for a small amount of marijuana from a long time ago. But this is his first misdemeanor. He is not a habitual criminal or offender. And at the very least, asking the court to consider the lower range of punishment, given that he's so young, he's 22 years of age, and just given some of the traumatic background that he's experienced. And then finally, we'd ask the court, whatever the court does today, if you can please consider that he does have to fight off this this awful addiction that he has. His only clean time has been the time that he's been in jail. Thank you.
All right, State, is there a reason you're silent?
We just feel like the facts speak for themselves, Judge.
All right, has anyone spoken to the complainant?
Let me look and see. It looks like we've mostly just spoken to the mother, Judge.
And what is she asking for?
Looks like the last time our office spoke with her was January of 2020. Let's see. She said she wants him to get help because she knows he has drug issues. And the mom believes anyone who's sick can be cured and need help understanding their emotions.
Okay, I think we've lost David Martin. Just give us a moment while he zooms back in. Ray Adams, and we're off the record. Ray Adams, who do you have?
Did you kick me out, Judge?
No, I did not.
What happened? I'm booted.
Okay, you're back. All right, Ray Adams, who do you have? You're muted.
Now I can't see him in the video.
Trina Cantera.
I'm sorry, who?
Trina Cantera, Cantera.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal Trial Division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we're back on the record. Yes, David Martin.
Where did I drop out?
You mentioned what the mother wanted, but have you all had any contact with the complainant?
We have not spoken with the complainant herself, I believe.
Does
The
anyone-
mother says she's still traumatized and didn't want to talk, but that's all we have regarding the complainant herself.
Everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, at least re-reviewing them, and also reviewing the PSI report, the court will deny the application, find the defendant guilty, sentence him to 2 years in the prison, give him credit for any time served, and there's to be a Chapter 62 compliance. Mr. Valdez, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it? If you can unmute for me, please.
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is a case where you will have to register for the rest of your life. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Valdez. Is there anything else from either side? All right, and I don't know why David Martin keeps getting kicked out. All right, with that, we'll close the record.
All right, Judge, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Do you need to speak with your client? Guess not. Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Valdez can go back? He's 17J.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Judge, whenever you're ready, we've got the paperwork finished on Maldonado.
All right, as soon as I get the paperwork, I will do that. Just one moment. All right, who are the prosecutors on Borrego?
Hunter Morris, Judge.
All right, defense counsel is saying that he hasn't received any of the plea paperwork.
Okay, I'll get it shortly, Judge.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm back from the juvenile court.
Yes, who do you have?
I have Steve Sancho. Mr. Martin and I have conferred about that. He's made a plea bargain offer. It was a new plea bargain offer as of Friday. I've conveyed that to my client. We will not be accepting it.
Okay,
He understands that today's the plea deadline.
Just give me a moment. Steven Sancho, where are you? Steven Sancho.
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
Yes, you need to show your video.
Try start video. Is that it?
Yes. All right, Mr. Sancho, my understanding is you're rejecting the state's offer.
Correct.
All right, your new court date is going to be May 27th. On that day, I will give you your jury trial date, and the date I give you for jury trial is the actual date you will have a jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Harper, William Harper, where are you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All right, Mr. Harper, you're here for a compliance hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just one moment. All right, Mr. Harper, we have
Yes,
an
ma'am.
issue. You're here for compliance hearing. Can you tell me why are you here? What's going on?
I missed my patch. I was supposed to get it replaced and it went bad. And I
Why
was
didn't you
about,
get it replaced?
so I was supposed to go on a Monday, and the next day was the day that my patch went bad. And the day before that, I'll be honest, I just found out my girlfriend was pregnant, and I lost my car all in the same day before I was supposed to go and get my patch changed. And the next day, I didn't think about getting my patch changed until 4 o'clock. And that's
Okay,
when they closed.
so the fact that your girlfriend is pregnant, what does that have to do with the price of peaches?
I was just freaking out. Honestly, that was the only thing on my mind.
Well, I think everybody knows how people become pregnant, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't see why it would be any surprise to you.
Yeah, honestly, it just freaked me out. It just messed with me for a couple of days. I didn't think
Well, I
about
mean,
getting.
but here's the thing. I think we're all old enough. Everybody knows how children are made. It's not the stork that's bringing the babies and putting them in a cabbage patch, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know why people are in a state of shock when it actually happens. Here's your problem. Your problem is you are on probation. Do you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
I mean, I could see you there for 2 years. If you're at the prison for 2 years, you can have a chance to internalize the fact that your girlfriend is pregnant. Is that what you want to do? That'll give you a chance to think, have your space.
No, ma'am. I'll be honest with you. I've been trying really hard for my patch. Sometimes I drive up to 5 or 8 hours to get it changed. But I've been trying.
Here's the thing. You had a choice. You could either do the patch or do random UAs. If you want to do random UAs, then you can come in and do random UAs. The patch is really a privilege for people because it allows you to not have to report randomly. You put the patch on. If you're not doing any drugs, it'll turn out okay. If you are doing drugs, there's going to be a problem.
Yes, ma'am. I can do the patch for sure with no problem. It was just a messed up situation, honestly.
Well, here's the thing. Don't ever start a conversation with, can I be honest with you? Because what that means is that you hadn't been honest before. It's like when people say, with all honesty or with all due respect, what's going to come after that comma is either something that's not honest or something that's not meant with respect. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to get your life together. You're going to have to do better. Otherwise, you are going to find yourself doing time at the state jail facility for 2 years. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And so if you can't do this probation, then let me know. We'll just send you to prison. You'll get out of prison and live your life. So what do you want to do?
I can definitely finish this probation with no problems.
All right. If you do not, you're going to end up the next time that I receive a report. And as you can see on the report, it asked me whether or not I wanted to have a compliance hearing. Let me show you exactly what it says. This is what it says on it. You want to set it for a compliance hearing or other? And you know what that other box is for? For me to say, no, file a motion to revoke. And what ends up happening when you have a motion to revoke filed against you? A warrant is issued for your arrest. You're arrested, put at the Bexar County Jail unless you make bond. And then we will either hear your motion to revoke from the Bexar County Jail, or either you will spend money to bond out and we'll hear it probably with you in the courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
From now on, what should be at the forefront of your mind every time you're making a decision is this is something that I'm doing right now that could potentially send me to the state jail facility for 2 years. Every single decision you make. So when you have that patch and you already know what dates you need to return that patch on, because they tell you, you need to ask yourself, if I don't return and have them remove this patch on this date, could that potentially mean I'm going to prison for 2 years? If I don't report, it's a possibility I may go to the state jail facility for 2 years. Every single decision you make in your life from here on out, the first question before you make that decision should be, is this something where I could potentially go to the state jail facility for 2 years? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to put some bubble gum on the sidewalk or litter, which, by the way, I hate people, I don't like for people to litter, but if you're going to jaywalk, that's what they call it in my day, where you're walking against the light, you need to say, is this something that could potentially I could end up going to prison for 2 years? If I litter, is this something where I could potentially go to prison for 2 years? I'm taking a drink of alcohol. Is this something where I could potentially go to prison for 2 years? So until you are off of this deferred adjudication, out of this court, every single decision you make, that's the first question you should ask. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you ask yourself that question, it'll help you do better. Rebecca, does he need anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Harper, this is the last time we're going to have this conversation. The only other conversation I want to see from you is you've completed everything and you're asking if you can be off of probation early. You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. And you're going to have to set a good example for your future child. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Well,
do you know if it's a boy or a girl yet?
No, ma'am. I have no idea. We won't find out until June.
All right. Well, if it's a girl and you're looking for a name, you can name her Stephanie. If it's a boy and you're looking for a name, you can name him Stephen. It's all a play on Stephanie. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. You have a
all
blessed
right.
day.
You're welcome. All right. Anyone else ready? Mr. Ballantyne.
Judge, I was hoping to have a few more words with Tom.
All right. Let me see where you are. I'll send you to breakout room number 4. Lisa Voigt, who do you have?
Your Honor, I just got this appointment for Cristobal Martinez. Can I speak with the ADA assigned to it first before I speak with the client?
Yes. I will send you to breakout room number 5. All right, anyone else ready? All right, then we will wait. Norma? On Angel Cortinez, can you recall this in a week, please?
Yes, ma'am.
We can do May 10th, Judge.
All right, Mr. Cartinez, you're going to be back on May 10th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused.
Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 second. Everyone. All right, everyone, let me know when you are ready.
Judge, could you ask Jacqueline Jones to go to room 12 with her attorney?
All right, Ms. Jones, if you go to number 12, please. Mr. Goins, have you finished the paperwork on Miss Maldonado?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, I'm just waiting for it. I haven't received anything. So has she signed everything she's needed to sign?
She did, Your Honor.
All right, to the clerks in the back, do you have the paperwork on Maldonado?
We'll check right now, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Adams, you're back.
Yes, Judge. I have scheduled an appointment at the jail with my client tomorrow to find out why she didn't appear for sentencing back in September. I hope to have an answer about that. And so could we reschedule this PSI?
Well, no, I mean, she's in custody, correct?
Yes.
All right, Norma, can you see where Miss Cantera is, please?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll have her zoom in.
I'm sorry?
I said she'll be able to zoom in. She's on the docket today, so she'll be here.
Okay. Well, let me make a suggestion. I have an 11 o'clock juvie thing. And so, and of course, this is just a sentencing, but I would like an extended amount of time, and I've set it up for tomorrow morning to talk with her before we go to sentencing. Is there any way you'll let me come back like, let me look at my calendar. Let's say Friday.
Well, here's the question. Is the state asking for a different offer because she didn't show up for court? Did you discuss that with the state?
I did discuss it with the state. The state told me that if she did not appear, that what was going to happen is the whole range of punishment could be open to her. And therefore, it is crucial that I have a chance to discuss that with her.
But I mean, no, I understand that the state has told you that the full range of punishment could be open to her. But my question is, has the state said, we are going to ask for more than the 2 years that she agreed to? That's my question.
the state asked me, what is her reason for not showing up? And then they were going to tell me about.
Okay, all right, let's, because she's already scheduled to be here, Mr. Adams. She'll zoom in and we'll see what we can do.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you, Judge.
Judge, can you put Lazarus Davila into breakout room 4 with Mr. Valentine, please?
All right, Mr. Davila, if you'll go to breakout room number 4. And if I could have the parties on Mary Jane Maldonado. Who's the prosecutor you're working with?
Young lady in CTD, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Miss, is it Miss Williams?
Yes, Williamson.
Sorry, Your Honor.
All right, is there any prosecutor who's available to take this motion to revoke?
Yes, Judge.
Before we go on the record, what was she pleading to, Mr. Goins?
Your Honor, she's pleading true to count number 5 in the MTR and a TIC of the new number 1, which is
All right.
607313.
All right, can you put that in the chat box to Marcus Sanders, what the agreement is for me,
I will,
please?
Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Maria, are you ready?
I'm ready, Judge.
Court is calling 2019 CR 7192, State of Texas versus Mary Jane Maldonado. For the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Michael Goins for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Maldonado, Ms. Maldonado, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you Mary Jane Maldonado?
I am, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Maldonado, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, Ms. Maldonado, I'm going to show you 2 documents. One is entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. The next document is entitled First Amended Motion to Revoke Community Supervision.
I'm sorry,
Did you
Judge.
review
Revoke.
those?
Excuse me,
I'm
Judge.
sorry.
The
The
second one
next
was
motion is entitled First Amended Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney and did you understand them? Could you unmute for me, please?
I did, Your Honor.
And Ms. Maldonado, there appears to be a lot of noise that's coming from your end. It makes it difficult for the court reporter to hear. So if you could for me, if you could mute and unmute yourself and just wait until I ask you a question. And if you have any questions about anything about the process, just let me know and we'll stop, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Mary Jane Maldonado who was placed on community supervision and cause number 2019 CR 7192 for the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced on September 27, 2019 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
From the First Amendment motion filed March 30th, 2021, condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Mary Jane Maldonado, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November and December 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
All right, how do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Mary Jane Maldonado, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January and February 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the rest.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
Objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations, conditions 5 and 5, the court could find it true grant the motion, grant the motion and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 5 and 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will find violations 5 and 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There's Judge, we are asking that you grant the motion, adjudicate and revoke, and sentence her to 6 months in the state jail facility. And for her plea of true, we have agreed to TIC called Night Mag 607313.
Defense, is that the agreement?
That is, Your Honor.
Ms. Maldonado, are you asking the court to follow that plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion, sentence you to 6 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration Night Mag number 607313. Is there anything else from either party with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
Nothing from the defendant, Your Honor.
Ms. Maldonado, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court
Hey, what's up?
Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
I did, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do, Honor.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Ms. Maldonado, I don't know what your underlying issues are, but I did give you a chance by placing you on probation. If your underlying issues are drugs, then there are plenty of places throughout the city that will give you help for free. If there are some other issues you have, you need to make sure you take care of those, because otherwise you're going to wake up and find yourself having spent a majority of your time in and out of prisons. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Maldonado.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, could I speak to Alexandra, please?
All right, just give me one moment.
Thank you.
All right, Alexandra, let me see where she is. All right, Alexandra, if you could go to breakout room number 7, please.
Okay.
Thank you. And Kelly
Thank
Piddle?
you. Thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
I'm back from the breakout room with Alexandra. She's going to email probation to asking them to withdraw the MTR.
Okay.
And the client is in my waiting room if you'd like to see him.
Yeah, just give me one moment. Ray Adams, if you could go to breakout room number 2, and your client will meet you in breakout room number 2. All right, and Kelly Piddle, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Wait, just one moment. All right, Rebecca, did you need him?
I'm gonna check the email, make sure if I need to get any paperwork.
All right,
from-
if you need his client to come back, just let us know.
Okay. It doesn't look like anything per the email, so looks like he's free to go.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I forgot about that. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Judge, are you finished with Maldonado so I can send her back?
Yes, L22.
Judge, is it okay if we take Miss Rebecca Reyes in room 5? I have a question for her.
All right, just give me one moment. Okay. And you want her in number 5?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Rebecca, if you could go to 5, please. Thank you. Anyone else ready? Ray Adams. Norman, can you get Ray Adams to go to breakout room number 2, please? He's disconnected or something.
Yes, ma'am.
No. Mr. Adams, can you go to breakout room number 2? Your client is waiting for you there.
Correct. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. I was helping someone with paperwork. All right, to the clerks, you should have received paperwork on Borrego. All right, Ray Adams.
We're ready on Cantera.
All right, who are the parties on this?
Hunter Morris, Judge.
All right, and is the state remaining with their plea agreement?
Sorry, Judge.
Just one moment. Give me a moment, just 1 second. Do we have a new court date for her? All right, Ms. Boyd, you're excused.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge.
Just give me a moment, please.
He has the right to make my legal decisions.
Ray, is your client still in the breakout room?
Yes.
Okay, you need to go to the breakout room and tell her to come to the main room. All right, while Mr. Adams works on removing his client from the breakout room, Dirk Ashball.
Hey, Judge. How you doing?
Hi. All right. What is happening with your client?
I think Hunter's trying to figure out something with the complainant to see if we can just get this thing resolved. But in the meantime, Judge, I guess we can go on the PR bond. I mean, we kind of have an agreement.
All right.
His issue, Judge, is that he has another pending case as well. So even if you do give him a PR bond, I think he's still going to be in on that case. So.
All right. Okay, just give me a moment with that.
Okay.
Patrick Valentine, what is happening with Lazarus Davila?
We're going to enter a plea today and ask to come back for sentencing.
Okay. All right. Once the paperwork is ready, we'll take care of that. So, Mr. Ashball, let me take up this matter with Ray Adams, and then I'll take up your matter.
Okay, Judge. In the meantime, can you put me back in the breakout with my client?
What breakout room was your client in?
I want to say 9 or 10. It's Arthur Burnell. I don't remember which one.
All right. It's number 10. I'll send you to number 10.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Just a moment.
Sorry.
No problem. Court is calling 2020 CR 8969W, State of Texas versus Cateria, Cantera. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Morris for the state.
For the defense?
Ray Adams for the defense.
All right, and Ms. Cantera, can you unmute for me, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We're here for sentencing. The defendant entered a plea of no contest on September 17th, 2020. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find her guilty. The court found her guilty. And the defendant was scheduled for sentencing on September 23rd at 9 a.m., but the defendant did not appear. Could I have parties? We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Any objections from the state?
And from the state.
Ms. Cantera, do you have any objections that we're proceeding by video?
Oh, no, ma'am.
All right, so first things first, does anyone want to explain why the defendant was not present on September 23rd?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Cantera would like to explain that.
Ma'am, I just became a grandma for the first time, and my little brother committed suicide, and then my daughter's baby's dad committed suicide 6 months later. So I was helping my daughter with the baby, and I mean, it's my first grandchild. So
does the phone doesn't work? You can't call somebody and say, hey, can I get a continuance because all of this has happened in my life?
ma'am, I was just, I mean, the grieving part, and it was just a horrible thing that I went through, ma'am. And I was.
So again, you can't pick up the phone and call and say, I have these issues going on in my life. Can I get a continuance?
I don't have no excuse for that. Yeah, you're right. I
You
could
can't
have.
pick up the phone and call your defense attorney and say, I have these issues. Can you see if I can get a continuance?
Yeah, I could have done that, ma'am. I didn't. I'm sorry. I have no excuse.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
Yeah, you should know better.
Yeah.
It's not like you're a 15-year-old or 16-year-old running from their problems.
No, you're right, ma'am. You're absolutely right.
All right, the plea bargain agreement was for the defendant to receive 2 years in the prison. However, she would be subject to the full range of punishment if she did not appear. Are we still proceeding with the plea bargain agreement as negotiated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, may I ask the defendant a question?
Yes, can you raise your right hand, Ms. Cantera?
Yes, ma'am.
You solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand, state.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Cantera,
Yes, sir.
when you were booked on April 30th, did you turn yourself in?
April 30th? No.
Were you picked up?
Yes.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, Mr. Adams, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so are we proceeding on the plea bargain agreement that was negotiated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right, then I'll follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration night bag number 574188, CM 69235.
Sorry, Judge, could I have that number again? CM?
69235. County Court cause number 633434. JN number 1965477. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Cantera, what you pled to was fraud.
Yes, ma'am.
If you continue to be a thief and steal and take things that don't belong to you, you're going to find yourself in and out of prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You say you're a grandmother, you have a grandchild on the way. You need to be a role model for your grandchild. And part of being a role model for your grandchild is not letting them know it's okay to steal by your stealing and stealing other people's identity, credit cards, driver's license. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to get your life together. Otherwise, you're going to be back here either before me or some other judge or some other prosecutor who isn't as merciful. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, but that won't happen again. I guarantee that.
Well, I mean, if you got to make some guarantees, see it through. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Adams. Thanks for staying around.
Thank you, Judge.
All
They
right.
will be excused.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norman, can you let them know that Cantera can go back? Mr. Hilly? Thomas Hilly. All right. Are the parties ready on Borrego?
Yes, Judge.
Ready, Your Honor. I'm ready.
All right.
Baby, come here, man.
All right. Mr. Borrego, if you can find a stationary place for us, please, and stop moving around.
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It just makes everyone a little bit nauseous.
I'm sorry.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 1800, State of Texas versus Jacob Borrego. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Hunter Morris with the state.
for the defense?
Todd Coronado.
All right, and are you Mr. Borrego?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
None from
No,
the
ma'am.
state.
No objections, Your Honor. No,
Mr.
ma'am.
Borrego, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance. I'm sorry. The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. It is turning into a Monday. Defense, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Borrego, I'm showing you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Borrego, I'm showing you court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Borrego, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, Punishment is to be assessed at 30 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code. There are no applications. There's to be restitution of $57 for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, or ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers states one with attachments.
Any
No
objections?
objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Borrego, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Is he being sentenced today?
Your Honor, we were asking that he can start his sentence in 2 weeks, May 17th. He has, his girlfriend is due with the baby in a couple of on Wednesday, and his girlfriend's grandmother who lives with them is in hospice there with him right now. So he's just asking for 2 weeks to start his sentence. And he understands if he doesn't show up, that he's, the deal is off. He understands all that. I've gone over all that with them. But we are
Right.
asking for May 17th.
Mr. Borrego, let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I would fail.
All right, what are you going to be positive for?
Just for heroin.
All right. Mr. Morris, does Mr. Borrego have a wide criminal history?
Let me pull that up real quick, Judge. A fair amount of misdemeanor arrests, Judge.
Any felonies?
I'm seeing at least 2 other felonies for which he's been sentenced.
All right, and are they possession cases or?
One is, Judge.
All right, and what is the other one?
It is another less than a gram.
All right, let me just tell you the quandary I am in. If I sentence Mr. Borrego to 30 days, well, before he even gets sentenced, he's probably gonna, no offense, Mr. Borrego, but I'm just giving it to you straight.
Yes, ma'am.
If I sentence him today and say, turn yourself in 2 weeks, between now and when he goes to the Bexar County Jail, he's going to continue to use heroin. He's going to end up going to the jail high on heroin. Either he's going to end up dying because he's going to get some bad drugs from heroin. The fact that he's before the court right now, he has a baby on the way. Let's all pray that everything works fine with the baby, but I have a problem because I have a defendant here who's a heroin addict. Mr. Borrego is the mother of your child, and I just want you to be honest with me so I can know what to do. If hypothetically your child were born, is there a possibility, and I'm not saying you're a chemist or anything, but is there a possibility that that child is going to end up testing positive?
No, ma'am. Nope.
You're 100% sure.
I'm 100%. I'll bet on it. I'll put my life on it.
Yeah, because usually what ends up happening, I've discovered in my time on the planet that like people hang around with like people.
Yes.
For example, people who are marathon runners,
Yeah.
they hang out with other marathon runners. They wouldn't hang out with me because I'm not a marathon runner. So where we are is, I think he needs treatment. He's a heroin addict. He can't stop on his own. He hasn't stopped on his own. And usually people go to prison or they go to jail, they'll stop using. Usually when people are coming before the court asking for leniency and asking me to follow a 30-day sentence for him, they'll stop using. And I appreciate your honesty, Mr. Borrego, but you can't be a good parent if you're going to continue to use heroin. You can't even be a good provider to the person that's in hospice care because you're using heroin.
Yeah.
So I normally don't break plea bargain agreements, but he needs to be in treatment. Otherwise, the taxpayers, and I consider myself a taxpayer, what's going to end up happening is Child Protector, she's going to give birth to that child. Child Protective Services is going to end up getting involved. And we're going to have, or either they're not going to get involved. And if they don't get involved, we're going to have a heroin addict. No offense, Mr. Borrego, but we deal with where we are now. It's sort of like when you go to church on Sunday and you have people who are like 100% in it. The pastor always tells everybody, you got to meet people where they are right now. And where you are right now is you're strung out on heroin. Like you're continuing to use heroin. I believe you have all your faculties, but you're continuing to use heroin.
Yeah. No, I was planning on stopping already. I wanted to get clean already.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. People always have plans to stop using, but it's always the next day.
Yeah. No, I know.
My plan is always to stop using, to stop eating chocolate. But then some student comes with me selling me some chocolate candy with almonds in it. And I'm like, I'll buy the almonds with the chocolate and I'm going to stop using on Tuesday. And it never happens.
Yeah.
So here's my question for both sides. And I'm open, I'll be open-minded. I think he needs to be on probation. I think he needs to be on probation for a while so that somebody can help him, give him the treatment that he needs for his addiction. So, I mean, what is everybody's thoughts on that? Mr. Coronado?
Your Honor, I believe he also needs help. I think he would, if Jacob was honest with himself, he would say he needs some kind of treatment as well for his heroin addiction. So I think we would be open to, or he would, both of us would be open for him being placed on probation as well.
State, how do you feel about that?
Judge, I would not be opposed to placing him on probation if probation included some sort of treatment.
Mr. Borrego, do you want treatment?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna get probation, yeah, I'll do it. I mean,
all right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to follow the agreement. I'm going to give you probation. And Mr. Coronado, your client is now, I guess, changing the agreement. Are you all technically changing your plea bargain agreement to apply for probation?
Correct.
And State, do you have any objections to his applying for probation?
No objections, Judge.
All right. So this is what we're going to do, Mr. Borrego. I'm going to send you to felony drug court. I'm going to sentence you today. You need to make sure you get in touch with felony drug court. And Rebecca, can you make sure that they expedite him with felony drug court with treatment?
I'll make a note, Judge.
And usually, Mr. Borrego, they'll try you on outpatient treatment. You're going to have to be a better person for this child that you're bringing into the world.
Yeah.
Children don't ask for their parents, they get what they get.
I know.
I know this child that you're having is not saying, hey, I want my parent to have addiction problem. So you're gonna have to do much better. And you're gonna have to make sure that child's mother is not using drugs. You
Yeah, no,
understand?
she's not. Yeah, she's not. She's not.
I just find it odd in my line of work that someone who doesn't use drugs is having a child with someone who is
No,
in the throes of their addiction.
I'm sorry. She's been telling me to stop. Like she wants me to stop already. She wants me to get clean. She wants me to get help. Like she tells me that I need help.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sentence you to 2 years in a state jail facility, suspended and probated for 6 years. Referral to felony drug court. $200 hours of community service restitution. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
can you see if someone can zoom in from felony drug court?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Mr. Borrego, have you ever been employed?
Yes, ma'am. A while back.
All right, what is a while back? When's the last time you had employment?
Recently, like a few months ago.
All right, so how are you supporting yourself now?
I do little odd jobs here and there.
Okay, well, you have a baby coming on the way. Baby can't depend on odd jobs here and there, right?
Yes, I know. Yes, ma'am. I know.
So I'm going to do proof of employment within 30 days. And there's to be no employment with vulnerable persons. What that means is you're not allowed to be a home health care provider, and you can't have any employment that involves your supervision of minor children. Do you understand?
Yes.
And since you're able to use Zoom, it's going to be weekly Zoom reporting until accepted into drug court. And we're going to do the UA hotline with him. I'm going to want parenting classes with compadre y compadre. Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
My computer was freaking out. I was going to ask you, are you going to do the drug test to monitor levels or just do the random?
Mr. Borrego, are you using anything other than heroin? Are you using anything to even level you out?
No, ma'am.
So it's only heroin?
Yes, ma'am.
No marijuana or anything like that?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you do know while you're on probation, you can't drink alcohol?
Yes, ma'am, I know.
Okay. All right, Rebecca, anything else?
Field visits?
Yes. Let's do field visits 3 times per month. Random. Mr. Borrego, is there anything else you need to be successful in this probation?
No, ma'am. You said it all.
Okay. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You do have a limited right to appeal because your plea agreement with the state, even though it was changed orally, it wasn't changed on paper. Your originally plea bargain with them was for 30 days in the Bexar County Jail. But my understanding from the defense in the state that they're changing that plea bargain agreement to allow you to apply for community supervision. Is that correct, state?
That is correct, Judge, and I would further state that the state is not opposed to changing the underlying sentence from a 1244 misdemeanor punishment to the state jail punishment as the underlying for the probation.
All right, is there any objections, defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
No, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. Borrego, do you understand what is being discussed?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any objections?
No, ma'am.
All right, so that the record can be clear. According to the plea bargain agreement, then, the state is recommending your punishment at 2 years in the state jail facility. And the state is recommending community supervision, and there's restitution of $57 for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement, Mr. Borrego?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Borrego, are you asking the court to follow that plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then also as a part of his sentence, he needs to pay the $57 restitution. Mr. Borrego, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, because this was a plea bargain agreement, and because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the court will just note for the record, so the record is clear, the state and the defense did enter into a plea bargain agreement for Mr. Borrego to receive probation. All right, with that, we'll close the record. Mr. Borrego, everything you do from here on out should be trying to make your child proud of you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. I'm gonna send you to a breakout room with your attorney and with probation. And Mr. Borrego, once you are accepted into felony drug court will be over the conditions. The only time you will come back to the 187 is if you're asking me to attend your felony drug court graduation, or if you've done poorly on it, okay?
Okay. Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's make sure it's for you to ask me to attend your graduation, all right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna send you out a lucky breakout room number 13. And Rebecca, if you could go to 13, and we're trying to get someone from felony drug court to come in.
Right, so if they come in, are you just gonna pull us out?
I'll just send them there.
Okay, thank you.
So just give us a few moments. And everyone, just give me a moment, please.
Judge, she was in a meeting. She'll be here in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Norma. And Todd, do you see where you can go to the breakout room?
I'm looking for it. I got it.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. May I be excused after this?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Charles Bond doesn't have a head. Yes, what is happening with Miss Jones?
Judge, the state is asking if we could get a short reset. There's some judgments that we need to track down. We have a plea agreement, just we need the judgments.
So how much time are you requesting?
Okay, cool.
I'm checking with, I guess Friday, would that work, or Monday?
Sure. You just tell me when you think you'll have it.
I can't do Friday.
Okay. Norma, on Miss Jones, can you recall her for Monday for a plea?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right, then Charles, your client will need to be back by Zoom on May 10th.
Okay, Jacqueline, do you hear that? Okay, Judge, we'll see you on May the 10th.
All right, thank you.
We'll send you the code before then, okay?
All right, and if you all have paperwork, if you all have that done, we'll take you all up first.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, Jacqueline, you can sign off. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, thank you. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room? Thomas Hilly.
Yes, I would like to go. Good morning, Your Honor. I would like to go into breakout room with the state police on Rioja.
All right, so wait 1 second. Are you driving?
Oh, not anymore. I pulled over, Your Honor.
Okay, and who are you? Who's your client?
Riojas.
I'm sorry, who?
Riojas. RIO.
It's a Riojas, Judge.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's the MTR. Robbie Riojas. 2020 8617.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. A prosecutor will meet you there. And
Thank you.
Miss Deanna, thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to send you to 13. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, I am back. Bill Davidson. Hi, you're muted. What is happening with your case?
Your Honor, I just need to go into a breakout room with my client to go over the paperwork. I've signed everything and he just needs to sign it.
All right, who's your client?
Roland Diaz.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
And Roland Diaz, where are you? Is your client in custody?
He's in custody.
Let me see if I can find him.
I mean, I was talking to him earlier. I hope they didn't take him away.
He's still in one, or he was in one.
All right, let me see.
He just came back.
All right, Mr. Diaz, if you go to breakout room number 3 to speak with your attorney, please. Brian Kimbrough. All right, everyone, we will see where we are. All right, and everyone, just give me one moment. All right, thank you. And Mr. Brown, we're calling your attorney. Tom? I don't see Hunter on the screen. I think that he may be in the breakout room.
Okay.
My understanding, they had an agreement on the PR bond for Arthur Bonal.
I can, do you want me to just walk? I can just walk over to the next office and ask him.
Yes, because tell him, I don't believe he's eligible because he has a charge. He hasn't been convicted, but I believe the governor's directive also said if you're charged with a violent offense, and he's charged with an assault bodily injury, so he may not qualify for it.
Okay. Well, I mean, then it is what it is. I don't need to tell him.
Okay. Mr. Bernal, could you unmute for me, please? Based on the governor's directive, based on the governor's directive, I know you've applied for a PR bond. You're not eligible for a PR bond.
Okay.
And that's the governor's directive.
Okay. And well, can I just pose one?
I'm sorry?
Can I just pay my get a buzz bond?
That's something you'll have to discuss with your attorney, but hypothetically, yes, if a bond has been posted by a bondsman,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
you will be released. Your
Okay.
bond on the state jail felony case is $1,000, and your bond on the misdemeanor assault case is set at $1,000.
So that's pretty much 200, right? Altogether? I mean,
I'm not a bondsman, so
Oh,
some
okay.
bondsmen do 10%, some do 5%, some do 3%.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
depends on what bondsman you go with.
Okay.
And normally, Dirk,
Yes.
hi, your client is not eligible for a PR bond
Oh, why?
because of the assault charge he has pending.
Oh,
So the governor, that's the governor's orders. So
Okay.
that's where we are. And I just,
well, that's in a different court, isn't it?
yes,
Oh.
but he's still not eligible. The governor's directive, whether it's out of my court or another court, if they have it, they're not eligible.
Oh,
for
I thought it was
any
just
type-
family violence.
No, any type of violent offense.
Okay. Can we go any lower? I think it's already been reduced to like a very minuscule amount. Is it 1,000 or what is it?
Yes. You'll
Okay.
have to talk to the state and see if they'll agree with the bond reduction.
Will you give us a bond reduction?
Judge, the state would propose a $500 bond with a no contact with our ABI victim, the location, no firearms.
No. The only case that this court has is the burglary of the building.
They're interconnected, Judge.
Okay, if you guys, well, let me explain something. I don't set $500 bonds for felonies. I just don't.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
So
Okay.
to me, I mean, $1,000 is low for a felony.
Yeah, Judge, I think that's fair. With that info, can you send me back into a breakout so I can explain all that to my client, and then I'm sure we'll
Sure.
be
I
on
mean,
our
if
way.
you all want to, the misdemeanor is out of county court at law number 1.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll reduce it. And so, Mr. Bernal,
Yes, ma'am.
if you'll go to breakout room number 8,
How do I do that?
it should pop up on your screen.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. I got you.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Oh, Mr. Nesbitt, I sent you a chat.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Just give me one moment, please. All right, Lazarus Davila.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you can go to breakout room number 5, and one of the clerks will meet you there to swear you in. All right, and Brian Kimbrough and Shelley Byers.
Yes, Your Honor. We have an offer that she's considering, but she has quite a few issues that I need to speak to her about. I've been speaking to her, but I think I need to meet with her in person. She's on a monitor and she lives in Atascosa. The offer would remain open. I've already discussed it with the DA. I was wondering if I could recall it on the 17th, either one way or the other.
Just one moment. To the clerks in the back, I need the files on Shelley Byers. I do not have it. And Stacy Cross, you're here for Eddie Hernandez.
Yes, Judge. It's supposed to be a plea. I just messaged Alexandra she's working on the paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Ashbaugh.
Yes, Judge.
All right, do you need anything else from the court?
If I can just go talk to Hunter again, but no, I don't think we're going to resolve that issue, or it is resolved because he's got an assault. So I'm going to try to get his people on the outside to take care of him. But if I can just talk to Hunter real quick to see if we can get this figured out before I go.
Sure, I'll send you to breakout room number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
And Hunter, did you check your chat?
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Just one moment. Let me go get the file from the clerks because I don't have it, Mr. Kimbrough.
That's fine. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Kimbrough, what is happening with Ms. Byers?
We have a offer that's been tendered, which she's considering, and I think we discussed it. She has quite a few questions and issues that I want to talk to her about. I think we can resolve the case, but I would need a little time to talk to her in person. And I'm suggesting the 17th because she is living in Atascosa. She's on a monitor, so she's going to have to get permission. We're going to set up a time, and we can do that, but that would give us enough time to go over all of her questions and issues. And the DA did say they'd leave the offer open until then, so that wouldn't be a problem.
All right, Norma, Ms. Byers, are we able to recall it for the 17th?
On the 17th? Let me check, Judge. Give me 1 second. Yes, that's fine.
All right, Ms. Byers, we're going to come back on the 17th. The 17th will be your plea deadline date. The court will not accept any plea bargaining agreements after that date. Do you understand? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right, then we'll see you then. You are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Norma, do you have an update on Sean Rodas, the psych evaluation?
No, ma'am, I still need to, I think I emailed Angela, but let me see if I got a response back from her.
All right, thank you.
a pretty good case.
And Norma, what date is Raymond Gutierrez coming back? He's on the first page. You're muted.
The 12th, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, the court is taking a break at noon.
Norma, can I get in a breakout room with Alexandra, please?
Judge is the host. I'll let her know to send you to a breakout room. Give me 1 second.
Thank you. Judge, may I get put in a room with my client, please? Eddie Hernandez, he's in custody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Hernandez, if you'll go to breakout room number 6, please.
All right, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Judge.
Hi.
This is Dirk. Can you send me back into the breakout with my client real quick?
All right, just one moment.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I
Did you
feel
go to
like
break? Huh?
I feel like you did all the work today, and it's the other case that I probably should have been doing this, but I appreciate it.
Oh no, you're awesome. We're all here to work. So
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. I sent you to breakout room number 8.
Judge, are you in the middle of something?
No, do you need?
Riojas needs to go to room 2. He's already
All right.
assigned. to it.
Mr. Riojas, if you'll go back to breakout room number 2, please. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, Bill, I'll send you and your client to a room so the so the clerk can swear them in. I'm sending you to breakout room number 5. And Norman, if you could go to 5 for me, please.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And Mr. Diaz, if you go to breakout room number 5, please. Mr. Diaz, I need you to go to breakout room number 5. Look at the bottom of your screen. Do you see where it says breakout room? Mr. Diaz, unmute for me, please.
Probably hire you either way for that.
Mr. Diaz, do you see at the bottom of your screen where it says participants?
Yes, ma'am.
You see where it says chat?
What if
Yes, ma'am.
in the past
You see where it says
damaged-
breakout
she's
room?
hurt herself before working on her house because that's how the whole thing happened.
There's
She
nothing
fell
that
off a
says
roof
breakout
like a
room
year
here, man.
ago because she's
Do you
doing her
click on
shit.
more?
Those emails we got about the extradition on the
Okay.
internet.
Do you see where it says more?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Join
Click
breakout
on
room.
that. Join breakout room.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
ABI.
All right, Dirk. You're muted.
Yes, Judge. I've spoken with my client, and we have something set up where we're going to take care of the misdemeanor, and this is going to be dismissed, I think. So I'm going to get in contact with that court and see if we can set that up.
All right, you want to call that court and see when they're available?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do and get it set. And in the meantime, if he gets out, that's great. If not, we'll take care of this as soon as we can.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge, for your time. May I be excused? And I think we're done with my client too.
Yes, you're excused. And Mr. Bernal, if you'll just
Yes, ma'am.
remain there, they will have a deputy come and remove you. So just
Okay.
remain there.
Yes, ma'am.
Unless, is there a deputy in the room by chance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could you have the deputy come over?
Sir, they want to talk to you.
Hey, Hunter, just FYI, he's going to take it. So I'm going to go ahead and get in contact with the County Court 1 people.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Thanks,
right,
man.
can you let the, Mr. Bernal, can you let
Yes,
the
ma'am.
deputy know that you're excused?
I'm excused.
Your Honor, if I may update the court?
Just one moment. We've completed Mr. Bernal's case.
Oh, thanks a lot, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much.
You have a great day.
All right, you too. Yes.
Your Honor, respectfully, I have conveyed an offer from the state to my client. And it's a big decision. He would like to confer with his family. Can we please recall the matter for Friday on the MTR, Mr. Robbie Riojas, please?
All right, you need to have him come back to the main room. He's in breakout room number 2. Have him come to the main room.
Okay, okay.
All right, Mr. Riojas, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me repeat, Your Honor. I just conveyed a very big decision to my client. And for me to be better prepared for my client to make a better decision, my client and I, we jointly asked the court to reset the matter for Friday. So he have a chance to discuss his choices with his family and for me to get some witnesses in case we have to go open to you, please.
All right, who is the prosecutor you're working with?
Mr. Marcus?
All right, Marcus Sanders.
Yes, Judge.
All right, defense counsel is asking until Friday to recall this.
That's okay with me.
All right, just one moment. Let me see if we have that date available. Just give me a moment.
Or if you prefer, we can do Thursday, Your Honor. I have another case with you on Thursday.
All right, Mr. Riojas, how old are you?
28, ma'am.
All right, so you're old enough to make your decisions without any input from other people, but I'm
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
give you till Friday, but let me explain something to you that a parent would appreciate.
Yes, ma'am.
Parents would appreciate you calling them and asking for their advice before you make a decision, not after everything has hit the fan. You understand?
I understand.
So I'm going to call you back on May 7th. You need to have talked to whomever your attorney wants you to talk to, or whomever you feel you need to talk to. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to recall you back on May 7th. Mr. Hilly, unless you have someone else with us, you're excused.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. And Mr. Hilly, that will be at 9 a.m.
Thank you now. Bye-bye.
Mr. Riojas, is there
Yes,
a
ma'am.
deputy in that room with you?
Is there a deputy? No, not at the minute.
All right, then I'm going to need you to remain there and the court coordinator will let them know you can go back, okay?
Okay.
But
Yeah,
for
have a
now,
good
do not leave that room.
All right. Yes, ma'am. You have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Judge Boyd, I just want to make sure I'm clear to go. Alexandra is dismissing our case.
Yes, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Wait a minute, is your client still in the breakout room?
Yes, more than likely, he's still
Yes,
in
you
the
need to
breakout
bring him
room.
back to the main room.
Judge, I think he actually left the breakout room. I think he just signed.
Oh, did he sign off altogether?
Yeah, he's not in there.
Okay, all right, great.
So I'm good to go, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alexandra.
You're welcome.
All right, the parties on Diaz.
Marcus.
Hello.
Davidson.
Hi, is your client back in this room?
Your Honor, he's supposed to be.
He is not. Let me go get him.
He is, Judge.
All right, Mr. Diaz. Oh, okay, great. Could you unmute for me, please?
How you doing, Judge?
Hello. Court is calling 2021 CR 1482, State of Texas versus Roland Diaz. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
William Davidson.
And are you Mr. Diaz?
I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
I do.
I'm sorry, I'm going to need you to speak up. Did you review
I
that
did.
document with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Diaz, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review it with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're going forward on the lesser included offense of robbery.
Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Diaz, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand what the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. The state will remain silent on your application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. The state will take in consideration 2021 CR 1483. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to jury trial? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then, Mr. Diaz, to the offense of robbery, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, the state offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections. I have been over it with my client, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope the meeting's over.
All right, we're back on the record. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. And is there going to be a need for a TAP evaluation or anything out of the ordinary, Mr. Davidson?
Just a PSI, Your Honor.
Okay. And let me find out when we will be back on this. Just give me a moment. All right, Mr. Diaz, we're going to come back on May 31st. for sentencing. At that time, I'll receive a report from probation. I'll base my decision on your application based upon that report and also any other evidence that's presented to me. Do you understand? If you could unmute for me, please, Mr. Diaz. Just press the space
Yes,
bar.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I do
Understand?
understand. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so whatever witnesses, if Mr. Davison, if there are witnesses that you want to call, they can also appear by Zoom.
Yeah,
And if
sure.
for any reason, Mr. Diaz, if you were to bond out, you'll need to appear in the courtroom. It's 187th District Court, 4th floor, 300 De La Rosa. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Diaz. Is there a
Thank you.
deputy in the room with you?
No, there isn't at the moment.
All right, well, just give us a moment and we'll make sure that you are excused.
Judge, do you want to take him to a breakout room so I can get his information for PSI?
Yes. All right, and Mr. Davison, if you would go to the breakout room as well.
Okay.
It'll be breakout room number 6. And Mr. Diaz, if you'll go to 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right, are the parties ready on Lazarus Davila?
Defense is ready.
And who's the prosecutor you're working with?
I believe it was Tom. I think he's still doing this.
Okay,
I'm here.
all right. Maria, this defendant has 2 cases. Are you okay with us doing both cases at the same time?
Yes, Judge.
All right, then the court is calling 2019 CR 10471, and 2021 CR 1479, State of Texas versus Lazarus Davila. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense?
Patrick Valentine.
All right, and Mr. Davila, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Lazarus Davila.
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections.
Mr. Lazarus, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them, and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
And in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Acknowledgement of Discovery. Have you received all the discovery in each of these cases, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Davila, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment in each cause number?
We so waive.
State, in cause number 2019 CR 10471, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
471. Judge, I think we're waiving the enhancement allegation.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, counsel. Waiving what?
The enhancement allegation.
Any objections?
No objection.
And in state, in cause number 2021 CR 1479, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes.
Was there a count? I'm sorry, Tom, was there a count two we needed to waive out?
I'm looking and I don't see it here. Not in that cause number.
Yes, the court does not have a second count in that cause number.
Understood.
Mr. Davila, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you a document entitled Court's Admonishments and the Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them, and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
In cause number 2019 CR 10471, you're charged with the offense of aggravated robbery. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 years to 99 years prison and up to a $10,000 fine. In cause number 2021 CR 1479, you're charged with failure to stop and render aid in a moving vehicle. The range of punishment for that offense is not more than 5 years confinement. All right, there's an issue here. In the range of punishment, it states for not more than 5 years.
Correct. So Judge.
Or confinement in the county jail, but it cuts off.
Correct. The document rubric that is available to us to do that, there's just not enough space to put everything we needed in there. Since that's the hybrid offense, it's up to 1 year county jail or up to 5 years TDC, up to $5,000 fine. And we are electing the 5 TDC of that punishment range.
All right. And did you understand it's up to a $5,000 fine, Mr. Davila?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand that it's also up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, but the state is proceeding on it as at the range of punishment of not more than 5 years in the prison? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of the cause numbers, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of the cause numbers, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering a plea bargain agreement in these cause numbers, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into an agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
And each of the cause numbers, do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Judge.
And each of the cause numbers, do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Judge.
Mr. Lazarus, in each of the cause numbers, I'm sorry, Mr. Davila, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Say it again, miss.
In each of the cause numbers, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you the plea bargain agreement. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And cause number 2019 CR 10471, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 7 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There are no applications for deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 1479. State will take in consideration 2021 CR 1480, 2021 CR 1481, 2019 CR 8170, 2021 CR 1478. And if the defendant fails to appear for sentencing, you will be subject to the full range of punishment. Mr. Davila, do you understand if you do not appear on the sentencing date, then you are subject to up to 99 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
And in 2021 CR 1479, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There are no applications for community supervision or deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 10471. State will take in consideration county court cause numbers 639185, 607187, grand jury number 741734. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement in each of the cause numbers.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement in each of the cause numbers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Davila, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions in either case?
There have not.
Then, Mr. Davila, in cause number 2019 CR 10471, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And in cause number 2021 CR 1479, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State Office Exhibit 1 in attachments separately in each cause.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Davila, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them at all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, after viewing states exhibits 1 and attachments and both cause numbers, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and each of the cause numbers the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing or no?
Your Honor, we are asking to return for sentencing.
And what date are you asking for?
Hoping for a date about 30 days from now, whatever's convenient for the court schedule around then.
All right, and what is the reason for 30 days?
Your Honor, when Mr. Davila woke up this morning, he didn't realize he would be having to go to TDC. He has some affairs to get in order, including 2 young children, to explain to them what's happening and make arrangements for their continued care.
All right, state?
That's what we discussed, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson?
Sorry, Judge, I was trying to unmute. Yes, ma'am.
Can I get a 30-day reset for Mr. Davila?
Yes, ma'am. You can come back on, it's going to be in person. June 9th.
All right, Mr. Davila?
Yes, ma'am.
You will need to be in court on June 9th at 9 a.m. It's the 187th District Court
Yes,
at
ma'am.
300 De La Rosa. It's on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Davila, what date do you need to be here in court?
June 9th
What time?
at 9 o'clock.
And where are we located?
300 North De La Rosa.
Yes. All right, we will see you then.
Judge, I have
Amen.
one request on behalf of Mr. Davila.
Yes.
He's presently on full house arrest with GPS monitoring. He is not employed and unable to pay the monitoring fees. He has previously been found to be indigent. I would respectfully ask the court that the next month of monitor fees be waived.
I'll place that the fees be waived or that he be placed on indigent status. Okay, if there's nothing else, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor? This is William Davidson.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're going to take our break. Oh, just let me see something. Oh, you're right, Hunter. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know if we wanted to get that attorney back, but I'm happy to fix it after lunch.
Oh, yeah, I'll just change it.
Okay,
But no, that's correct.
thank you.
All right, everyone. Mr. Davila, you're excused.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everyone, we will be back after lunch. We'll be back at